What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Kyle on the Call Sports. I'm Kyle Russo. Now, on today's show, what I want to talk about in the midst of NFL free agency, I want to talk about the New York Giants and a massive trade in which can significantly impact their offense for the 2023-2024 NFL season in a trade that they just made today with the Las Vegas Raiders. But before we get started, make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kyle on the Call Sports. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. The New York Giants earlier today made a trade with the Las Vegas Raiders to acquire tight end Darren Waller. In this trade, the Giants traded away a third-round pick that they received earlier this year in a trade that sent Kadarius Toney to the Kansas City Chiefs. This third-round pick is pick number 100 in this year's 2023 NFL Draft. And in return, the Giants receive Darren Waller. Darren Waller, I believe, is 30 years of age. He's been in the National Football League for 8 seasons between playing or 7 seasons between playing with the Baltimore Ravens to start his career, then with the Oakland Raiders, and now the Las Vegas Raiders. And now to play his 8th season in the NFL, he will be suiting up for the New York Giants. Now, Darren Waller, in his career, especially during his time playing with the Oakland and Las Vegas Raiders, he's been a star at the tight end position, specifically in the years 2019 and 2020. And in 2020 was a year where he was elected to be a member in the Pro Bowl. And in that year specifically, let's talk about it. He played 16 games, started in a total of 15 of them. He had 107 receptions off 145 targets, 1,196 yards for about 11 yards per reception, and 9 total touchdowns. Dude's an absolute monster standing at 6'6", 255 pounds. And he has numerous abilities outside of obviously catching the ball as a tight end. At 6'6", 255 pounds, Darren Waller is not only one of the biggest mismatches in the entire NFL when he's running routes and catching passes, but he's also an athletic and great blocker. So on the Giants specifically, in the acquisition of this trade in Darren Waller, essentially what they get is they get a player to not only add depth to their tight end chart, not only do they get a player to potentially add a 6th offensive lineman to help protect Daniel Jones in the pocket on some plays, but also instantly becomes their best pass catching receiver / tight end in Darren Waller. This is a huge impact play for the New York Giants and a huge move for this organization. Now, Darren Waller, this past offseason, prior to the start of the 2022-2023 NFL season, he signed a 3-year extension worth $51 million with the Raiders. Now, he's already under contract this year for $11 million, but let's talk about the contract breakdown. So the Giants in 2023 owe Darren Waller $11 million for his salary, and I believe there's about $1.25 million worth per game bonuses. But after that, the beauty part about this contract is that if it doesn't work out and he's not a fit with the Giants and they choose to release him, the final 3 years, which is his extension that he signed with the Raiders in 2022 prior to the season starting in 2022, there will be no dead money or no money against the cap, $0 against the cap if they do choose to release him, which is a huge plus because Darren Waller, although he's an elite and excellent tight end in the National Football League, that season or those seasons in which we talked about were in 2019 and in 2020. In 2021 and 2022, in those 2 seasons combined, he's missed a total of 14 games, and he hasn't put up those stellar numbers. And obviously, as we know, especially in football, your best ability is your availability. The physicality of the sport in its entirety, you need to be able to stay healthy and be able to stay on the field. And unfortunately for Darren Waller, he just has not been able to do that in these last 2 seasons. So there's a lot of high upside in this trade for the Giants, obviously only giving up a 3rd round pick for a talent of Darren Waller's caliber. However, while there's great upside to this acquisition of Darren Waller for the Giants, there's also the negative side as well. Darren Waller is an excellent player, don't get me wrong, but injury has been a concern with him these last 2 years in the National Football League. And being that the Giants are a team where they struggled to get consistency out of their offensive passing game or their receivers, being that they had a guy in Isaiah Hodgins come on the scene and essentially be their number one receiver the second half of the season, Richie James in some of those games as well, Wan'Dale Robinson, the rookie, in his best game of the season where he had 9 receptions, I believe, for 100 yards. He tore his ACL. Sterling Shepard tore his ACL as well. And Darius Slayton, who might have been the most consistent player for the Giants this season and in previous seasons as well at the wide receiver position, the Giants definitely need an upgrade at their wide receiver position. Now, Darren Waller essentially being that number one option offensively, being as talented as he is at 6'6, 255 pounds, Darren Waller is a stud. But in order for him to perform at this elite level and this high caliber level that we know he's capable of, he needs to be able to stay healthy and stay on the field. So overall, this is a great trade for the Giants. There's a lot of upside to it, but there are some concerns, and those concerns lie at the health of Darren Waller. As these last 2 seasons, he has not been able to stay on the field, missing a total of 14 games. Giants fans and the Giants organization should definitely be happy with this trade. A player of Darren Waller's caliber does not come available very often, and if he does stay healthy, this could reshape and definitely, significantly improve this Giants offense come the 2023-2024 NFL season. But that'll do it here for me today. Kyle Russo here on Kyle on the Call Sports. Darren Waller is a New York Giant. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to like the video, make sure to comment on the video, and of course, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kyle on the Call Sports. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.